second chance in the game.
All right, Coach J.D. Atkins back here with AL Football Chat at the online clinic being put on by Chief Pigskin in Birmingham, Alabama, with co-host Will Johnson. We are sitting down right now with Coach Richard Bevill of Ramsey High School. Coach, how you doing today?
Man, I'm quite well. How you doing, man?
Man, we're doing great. We can't complain. Like I told Coach Towsman, we've been here all weekend talking to some really great coaches. It's been a lot of fun. So,
Right.
Well, go ahead and tell the people what you're going to be talking about today.
Today I'm going to just give a overview of the Ramsey defense. We have the nickname of 11 swinging, and so we're going to talk about defending in multiple spread offenses. And so we're going to go through the fronts, blitzes and coverages, and kind of tell you, just give you the inside of Ramsey football, the things with the obstacles we have to, go through and cross or whatever, as far as practicing, getting to practice, and having not that many resources or whatever, and not only having 2 coaches on campus. So we're going to talk about those type of things.
Well, Coach, I would personally like to hear you expound on that right now a little bit if you can. Talk about those obstacles that you guys overcome to be as successful as you guys are.
Okay, well, you're going to see in the power when I present my PowerPoint or whatever, you're going to see that we don't. Well, me personally, we'll start with myself. I teach biology. I'm a biology teacher, so I have a full load. I teach 3 classes. Then 4th block is athletic period, so I don't have a break. So I'm going into the weight room. So I don't have a break. I have a full day. There are only 2 coaches on campus, myself being a biology teacher and my head coach, he's a PE guy. So he has a little flexibility. So that's an obstacle in itself or whatever. We don't have a practice field. And so what we do have a little modified practice field which the band, cheerleaders, the pep squad, everybody uses it after school.
Oh, my goodness.
Whether track team or whatever.
Yeah.
And so what we do up until like 4:30, I hate them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say the same thing. When I'm
No, you're good. You're good.
But up until what we do, we hit the field up until like 4:30. We get our walkthroughs and just stuff on cans, everything on cans, until the buses arrive, okay? So while we're doing those walkthroughs or whatever, we have a lot of distractions. Like I said, we got cheerleaders, the pep squad, band. Everybody's around us practicing while we were practicing, doing walkthroughs or whatever. So it's an obstacle, but it helps us or whatever when we go on the road to, be able to attack the distractions of, being in a hostile environment or whatever. And so that's a great deal. And then we don't have our practice field, so we get bused over to either Legion Field or Lawson Field. So we'll get over there approximately 5, depending on if the buses arrive at 4:30 on time.
Yeah.
So you have those days where the buses don't arrive on time. So you there, you just have to wing it or whatever. You have to go into your indie work or whatever you need to do until the buses arrive.
Yeah.
Then you load the buses, go over, then we'll start our practice or whatever once we arrive at Legion.
Yeah, wow.
Well, it's no secret that you guys have had a ton of success in the recent past. I mean, state titles, state title games, runner-up this year, obviously. What's the secret sauce at Ramsey? I mean, what are we doing that's so different from everybody else that you guys are having that success?
Well, on the defensive ball, I'm a very enthused guy. And I believe in just competing in every little thing, even competing with your teammate or whatever. So that's the kind of, I believe in bringing energy. And like I said, we had turnovers. We had like 105. We've accumulated like 105 turnovers over 3 years.
Wow.
And we had some great players too, just being honest. But it's just the mentality we have of just put the ball down and play. we play situational football. We look at the down and distance and try to see what's going on or whatever. And our defense is a site adjustment defense or whatever. So we prep our guys on a Sunday or whatever and talk to them or whatever and install everything. And we rep it until, like, say, Wednesday or whatever. And after Wednesday, the plan is complete. Okay, we don't change anything after Wednesday. And that's just what we do,
Well, Coach, one thing that I've asked everybody this weekend, we've had some incredible responses. Why do you coach football? What is your why? What gets you up out of bed and sends you to work every morning?
Well, I just grew up loving football. I was a San Francisco 49er fan. They still in the playoffs, by
Yes,
the way.
sir.
Yeah. And so they, I grew up. I'm a Jerry Rice fan, and he's from my hometown, actually.
Okay.
And so it kind of grew on me. My dad actually was a track guy. And so I kind of went away from that, and I wanted to do football. And so I just love football. And the number one person, one of the number one people in my life, the role models in my life, was my head football coach, Bill Lee, over at Moss Point High School in Mississippi. And so I kind of, when I graduated from high school, I really didn't know what direction I want to go in. So I ended up playing college ball, and I couldn't figure out the major or whatever. But I spoke with him, and he was very pivotal in my life. And so I said I want to be just like him, and so I want to have an effect on our young men because our young men need us today.
Yeah.
More than any day, they need us today. And so that's why I coach.
Well, let's go backwards. You're at Ramsey High School. How do we get there? What does that step look like? So you said you played college ball. After that, what kind of leads you to Ramsey High School?
Okay, well, I GA'd after I got done playing. I was fortunate enough to be my head coach was fired, and so the incoming coach after I had graduated was Bobby Wallace. Anybody know Bobby Wallace? Bobby Wallace, the only coach in the history of football who's won, in college football, has won 3 national championships 3 years consecutively. Okay, he's the only guy. And so I had the opportunity of working on that staff for 1 year. Then God blessed me with my daughter. And so I had to go and coach high school ball because I needed the money because the GA and student assistants don't make that type of money.
No doubt.
And so I ended up going to Greensboro High School for 1 year, and I was the DB coach, receiver coach on the Jack Hazer rig. And we had a very successful year. They went 0-10, and upon our arrival, we ended up going 7-3 and making the playoffs, getting put out the first round, which was decent. What a good year. So upon that, after that, I was hired. A job came open within that same county, and it was a 1A school, the second smallest school in the state of Alabama, Akron High School. And so I took that job or whatever, and I probably took it before I was ready to be a head coach. But you know how you're young, you want to be a head coach, you're adamant about it. And so I took the head coaching job or whatever. And the thing about this job, I was the only coach on the staff.
Oh, my goodness.
So I had a volunteer parent and myself. And so those situations or whatever, those obstacles taught me a lot and made me the coach that I am today. And so I ended up at Akron. I did 5 years there. Okay, they were a horrible program or whatever. They had success back in the 80s, but they didn't have a winning season up until my 3rd year there. I did 5 years there. So my 3rd year, we were able to turn it around. We were 500, made the playoffs my last 2 years there. And then Greensboro hired me as their head coach, the school that I started off my first job. So I took the head coach job there, and I was there 3 years, and I had a three-man coaching staff there. And so I, coming from college, you can probably see a lot. I love the kids, and I love the community and everything. But I wanted to grow as a coach, and so I had a friend up at Minor. He gave me a call, offered me a job at Minor, and so I came up to Birmingham and coached at Minor, and I became a defensive back coach at Minor. And so I was there for 2 years, and then I took a defensive coordinator job over in Meridian, Mississippi. Okay. And then, so I was there for 1 year. Upon being there, my head coach was fired 2 months after being hired. I got there in February. He got, or whatever. Yeah. So I ended up staying on the staff that, they had to hire another guy. I ended up staying on that staff or whatever in Mississippi 1 year. And so I came back over to Fultondale. Coach Don Dover hired me as his defensive coordinator, assistant head coach at Fultondale. This was COVID. This was the COVID year. Okay. And so after that year, I did that 1 year or whatever. We had a rough year or whatever due to COVID, It was kind of tough. And Ramsey, Coach Jackson called me at Ramsey, said he needed a defensive coordinator, and I'm blessed by the opportunity. And so I went there, and here I am today.
Coach, that's awesome. Here we are right in the middle the off season, and coaches are going out, obviously clinic and doing things like that. What are you doing this off season? Who are you studying? Maybe college, pro, wherever it may be, another high school team. What are you studying this off season to get better?
Well, we clinic a lot. I'm a fan of Brent Venables, up at Oklahoma. I'm a very big fan of him. Of course, Nick Saban, with his intensity and everything. So I try to hit those clinics or whatever. And the Glazier clinics, it's a lot of diversity in that clinic, like people from all walks or whatever, from the coaching or whatever. So I try to hit the Glazier, probably 2 Glaziers because they stationed all over the country.
Yes, sir.
So I try to hit the Glazier clinic.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Awesome, man. Well, Coach, we want to thank you for being here, but also want to thank Chief Piskin for putting this on the online clinic here in Birmingham, Alabama, in conjunction with us, AL Football Chat. We're just very thankful for all you guys and what you do for our profession. The outreach, the clinic, and things like today, where you're willing to share some things and grow our game and grow younger coaches. I guess one last question that I do have for you would be, that younger coach that's sitting where you were years back and looking for a break, looking for a job, maybe wants to be a head coach, maybe wants to be a DC at a big time program. What advice do you have for that guy?
Well, be patient. Just be patient. Your time, and pray to the good Lord above, and be patient, and just wait your time and just try to learn as much as you can do. And make your your job as assistant coach should be to make your head coach the best coach in the world.
Yeah.
If you can do that, that'll take care of everything. So if he need anything or whatever, something going on, just stand in the gap for your head coach, and you'll mess around and you'll fall into greatness by doing it, by making somebody else good. I try to teach our guys to be a servant, not only on the football field to each other, just be a servant in society. So just being a good servant, and everything will work out.
Yes, sir. No doubt. Coach, thank you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No doubt. Really appreciate it.